Good afternoon, everybody. So I've created a new analog here. I know a lot of people have done this sort of thing before. And what this is some PVC pipe inside a pool noodle covered in leather. Now, the reason I'm doing this is to demonstrate the difference in damage between a percussive strike and a slice, a cut. And I'm going to be doing this with a couple of different weapons. So, and one other thing. I'm actually going to cover this in fabric. This is an old bit of padding for Under Armour, and we're going to put it over the top of it so that it is very much like what a person would be wearing. Not a top tier knight, mind you, but somebody on the field that was wearing gamboist body protection, and see what we get. Now, I'm going to be putting on a little bit of protective gear because I'm going to be doing full force strikes here with live steel, and we want to make the algorithm quite happy so that it doesn't go bonkers with me on unsafe acts and all of that crap. So I'm putting on proper safety gear. And, this will be somewhat, protective. It's, not the perfect experiment. Nothing about this is 100% right. This is simply best I can come up with what I've got laying around the house. And again, these are going to be full force strikes. I honestly really am kind of wondering what will happen. So I'm going to gear up and I'm going to hit this thing. And also, if it survives, which I suspect it will, at the end, I'm going to use a gununting, a curved sword, to strike it. And we'll see what happens then. Safety first, kids. So first, we're going to start out with an arming sword. All right? And we're going to percussively strike this. And I'm going to do it hard. I'm going to do it with proper force and technique. And we're going to see what happens. I honestly don't even know if this mount will stand up to it, but we'll see. All right. Fascinating. We get a cut through the gamboist material. This is from a percussion strike. Yes, it does cause damage. We can see that this rotated and we put a cut into it, but it stopped at the bone. Now, and this is still structurally sound and has all its integrity. Now let's go ahead and we'll take this messer. This is a much stiffer, stronger weapon than an arming sword, simply through its thickness. The arming sword has more leverage because it's longer, but this has significantly more mass. Now, again, same thing, percussive strike. Let's see what we get. Yet again, another cut through the gambeson. And a small bit of damage here from the edge. Now, I'm going to move on to an actual cut as opposed to a progressive strike. Let's see how that works out. First, with the arming sword. Significantly more damage to the gambeson. As you can see, much wider. When we look at our limb here, not only do I have a significant gash through the weapon, or through the arm, whatever you want to call it, to the bone, which is PVC pipe, we have completely bent the mounting point. Now, what that tells me is that we delivered significantly more force with a cut than we did with a percussive strike. And now for fun, let's do the same thing with the messer. A cut, not a percussive strike. And can't forget the armor, can't forget the padding. Now, a cut. Let's get this in a position where I'm actually hitting uncut parts of the gambeson. About the same as with the broadsword. Again, massive bend, cut through the gambeson, cut through the analog to the core. And we're bending it. Now, let's move away from European weapons and move to Southeast Asia and the Philippines and a ganunting. My favorite bit of personal interplay. Let's see what let's give it the gambeson. I don't want to take that away. I keep forgetting to put this back on. Let's give it the same test. A percussive strike. Nice cut through the gambeson. And as usual, a nice cut underneath the gambeson to the bone. The bone seems to have protected it from getting cut off. Now, let's try a cut. Gotta put it like that so we're not dealing with the gambeson. Yeah, it's pretty amazing how well armor actually works. I mean, look at this. That's a slice. Except this time we have a significantly deeper cut, and I can actually feel on the bone underneath where I have bit into it. And when I say bone, I mean PVC pipe. Now, out of curiosity, let's do this without the gambeson. And see if we can do this until this falls apart. Now, this is quite sharp. We've all seen it in many of my cutting videos. So, percussive strike without the gambeson. Nice cut. Stopped at the bone. That would have been a horrible wound. Now let's try an actual slice. Oh, much deeper in the bone. Let me turn this a little bit because of where it's bending. There we go. Back to the messer. Percussive strike against an unarmored analog. Interesting. We broke the attachment point. So I'm going to take this off and fix that. See? It broke where it was stuck in the holder there. Not a big deal. And perhaps you could interpret that is that broke bone. It's an understandable conclusion. It's nice and stiff. Now, let's see what a slice will do to this. Oh, safety first. As I said, I really don't want social media to pull this for dangerous acts or any of that kind of stuff. There we go. Let's go with a slice. Oh my God. That is more devastating than I really expected. And now finally, we're just gonna go ahead with a slice with the grunting, because this has very little left in it. Amazing. Truly amazing. This cut is quite substantial. Oh, let me take this off, because we're now done with cutting. And these bloody things are hot. Honestly, I probably shouldn't gear up after having stroked out a few months back, but you know, your passions are what keeps you alive. And I used to think this was a nice day to be in kit and fight. All right, I'd like to address some problems immediately that I'm seeing from this experiment. Number one, this mounting bracket is not really the best for this. A lot of force gets bled off in this bend. So take that into consideration. Let's remove this. Now, here's what's interesting. If we look at, this is percussive. This is percussive. This is percussive. This is a cut. This is a cut. This is a cut. This is percussive. And the reason you can tell that is these are short impact areas. That's where the blade is contacting, just the point from the strike. When you look at these, you can see the action of cutting actually draws it deeper into the PVC pipe. Now, like I said, this is not the perfect test medium. We don't execute criminals anymore to test our swords, although it's not a bad idea, especially for those ones over in the protective ward. You know the ones I'm talking about. But hopefully this gives you a little insight. And I want you all to understand this. I'm not saying that a percussive strike with a weapon is not going to hurt somebody. It will. And it is also a fantastic technique within certain games. And you can hit incredibly powerfully with it. But that's not what a sword is designed to do. As I said many a time, a sword is not a bashing weapon. A sword is a cutting weapon. Hopefully this little demonstration helps you out with that a little bit, and at least to see where I'm coming from. All right, guys? Have a great one.